We're back. It's 8:36 with award-winning filmmaker and our pal Ken Burns. He's ready to captivate us yet again, and he's got a new project out.
It is a two-part documentary that explores the life and work of one of America's founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. Here's a sneak peek.
Franklin is by far the most approachable of our founders. He's not somebody made of stone like a George Washington. Franklin was pretty simple in his moral code. He was driven by a desire to pour forth benefits for the common good. But there's a lot in Benjamin Franklin that makes you flinch. And we see Franklin not as a perfect person, but somebody evolving to see if he could become more perfect.
Like our union. Ken Burns,
Exactly.
Good morning to you. Ben Franklin, where do you even start? This founding father, I mean, you can't make it up.
No, he's the most amazing American of the 18th century. You know, he's the greatest American writer of the 18th century. He's a successful businessman. He's a printer, a publisher. He's the greatest diplomat in American
inventor.
history. A world-class inventor and a world-class scientist discovering the properties of electricity that we still use today. Positive, negative, battery, charge, conductor. That's all him before he discovers politics and basically creates the United States, because without the French help that he got, that he negotiated, there's no victory by George Washington at Yorktown. There's French soldiers next to him and a French fleet blocking the British. So know him, know us.
Wow, you talk about, he sounds perfect when you describe him that way, but you always talk, when you talk about your subjects, it's their imperfections that intrigue you.
Because all of us. I mean,
so what was it about him?
So if you say complicated human being, you're being redundant. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So he enslaved human beings, but at the end of his life was a abolitionist. He spoke about family values, you could say, about discipline and self-improvement, but he had strained relationships with almost everyone in his family. So
what do you mean?
He left his wife, Deborah, his common-law wife, for 15 of the last 17 years of her life. She'd had a stroke, didn't return for her death or funeral.
Wow.
I mean, not that you could do there quickly, but he could have come back. Right. He was promoting education for women, but didn't think his daughter needed it. His son, William, his best friend, stays loyal to the crown, and it's a complete part. And as the son, after the revolution, tries to repair things, he refuses. So you have the guy who is this mass of contradictions, who's also perhaps the most accessible of our founding fathers. Everybody else is static. They don't change things. He changes all the time. So he offers a portal into our founding, warts and all, and it seems familiar to us.
And to drill down on the issue of slavery, because as you said, he owned slaves. He was one of the architects of the Three-Fifths Compromise.
That's right.
But at the same time, by the end of his life, becomes an abolitionist.
He started a school for black children in Philadelphia and was surprised that black students were equally apt at learning and understanding things as white students. And I think he began to shed the prejudices. The thing about Franklin is that he's always improving. He's always trying to make himself better, like the Union. So he is one of the architects of those terrible compromises. But there's no United States without those terrible compromises. You don't get the southern states to join unless you say their slaves are 3/5 of a person only for the purpose of apportionment. So it's a strange devil's bargain, but we're here and we're now trying to make it better.
You keep saying he's always trying to improve himself. I found that so interesting. And these were the things he lived by. You said 4 rules. Be extremely frugal, endeavor to speak the truth, apply myself industriously, and speak ill of no man. What life lessons did you learn from him?
Oh, it's all the way through. And I think it's more this idea. You know, Jefferson presents the first draft of the Declaration and says, we hold these truths to be sacred and undeniable. Franklin goes, he's the editor of it in the committee, and he goes, no, we hold these truths to be self-evident. This is the age of enlightenment. We're scientists. We're looking. The sun comes up in the east and it sets in the west. Let's make this self-evident. And so that's Franklin in a nutshell. Plus, he's funny. He's the original American.
That's what we reeled in a few seconds, but was he just cracked one-liners all the time, or what?
He had his almanacs, but as you know, the early to bread is what we remember. But he said, you know, 3 people can keep a secret if 2 are dead.
That's a pretty good one. Ken, thank you so much. You always just give such a fascinating insight. And we want to let folks know that Benjamin Franklin premieres April 4th and 5th. It's on PBS.
All right, thank you, Ken.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.